Brian Lawrence with Clazar, and I have our two founders, Trunal and Ayush, with me. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing great, Brian. How are you doing?
Fantastic. One of the things I love talking to customers about and that they love hearing about, they ask me about, is hey, what led Clazar to be? How did the company come about? And there's no one better to tell it than the two of you. So, Trinal, maybe you could start with just what prompted the idea and then how you were able to get Ayush aboard.
Yeah, happy to share. This all started many years ago. So both Ayush and I worked together back at Airbnb, and Ayush was in the same team that I was, and I tell this story, very fondly to all of our customers and all the people that we talk with. But Ayush was the fastest growing engineer in the team, and eventually he went on to do even bigger things. But all along the way, I always had a feeling that if I ever want to start my own company, which I always wanted to, Ayush would definitely be my first phone call. And that was back in 2014, 2013. Fast forward to 2023, I was thinking of starting Clazar. I had seen the way modern GTM and the way to sell software via modern channels was changing, and I saw an opportunity to make something big in that space. That's when I called Ayush and said, "Hey Ayush, I'm thinking about starting this company. Hopefully the timing was is right at your end." And fortunately enough, the timing was perfect for him as well. And that's how the story of Klazar was born. Yeah, so that's my side of the story. I've actually never asked Ayush, but his side of the story. So I'm curious to learn as well.
Let's hear it, Ayush.
Yeah, I think as Tonal said, like we have worked together very closely. When Tonal called me and told me about how like his company at Confluent was doing sales, and I started researching on how software sales in the world is evolving, and there are fundamental shifts in last decade that are happening through cloud marketplaces, co-selling with product led. So it's just I got a strong belief that in this decade how software b2b software is going to be sold in the world is going to be fundamentally different, and that got me just so excited to work on this problem and solve it for so many companies out there who are starting their sales motion and who are also there with the old sales motion but now are adopting this newer sales motion. And this just modern way of selling software has got me super pumped, and that's where we started.
And Trinal, let me ask you, what did you not have available or what did you not see in the marketplace when you were at Confluent, which was fantastically successful and still is with, going from zero to millions of dollars in revenue in the cloud marketplaces. But what were you missing? What were the gaps that you saw?
Yeah, so at my previous company, we had a very sophisticated internal system, and we were working very closely with the all three cloud providers. And marketplaces was definitely a big part of the whole equation. But at the same time, we were also seeing these other newer channels that were coming on board. And what I saw missing is one cohesive system that's going to take care of all of these problems that a company needs to solve when they bring a software or SaaS product out in the market. And at that place, we had to figure out, hey, how do we do X and how do we do Y and how do X and Y gel together, like cloud marketplaces, co-sell, PLG, all the stuff that Ayush just talked about. We had bespoke solutions for all of those. How do you gel them well together in a cohesive platform? That was not there. So that is when we thought of, hey, there's something in this space that we can build, and start taking smaller steps and then taking on bigger and bigger problems and making this a huge part of the selling motions in the modern era of SaaS selling.
And Ayush, you're the driver behind the technical innovation and having coordinating with all our great engineers. What's next and where's the platform going?
Yeah, so the things that get me excited and the team excited is really about, hey, out there in the world, there are companies that should be really focused on building their software. They should not be investing engineering bandwidth in building software to sell software. That's we felt like, hey, and that's what gets us motivated and excited. That hey, if you have a cloud GTM motion through cloud marketplaces, You don't need to invest engineering effort to build things, then that will enable you to sell. You focus on your core product. So at this point, we have built a very solid and amazing SaaS product for companies to get listed, transacted, and grow on all three marketplaces, AWS, Azure, and GCP. Now we are starting to see a lot of excitement around co-sell on all with all these three cloud providers that really enables the GTM motion. So we have products like Salesforce integration, HubSpot integration, um, and making it like more native for selling through Crowd GTM. That's what that is. Really excited for this remainder of the year for us.
And Brian, if I may add to my own answer previously, something that Ayush just said reminded me of that is what I found missing is a delightful product to use.
Mm.
So I worked at LinkedIn, Airbnb, Confluent. I've used amazing products, like One Password. Ayush and I talk a lot about how amazing the user experience of One Password is. It just works. It's there. It works. It just happens magically, right? That kind of ease didn't exist when we were looking at the selling solutions out there that we wanted to adopt, and that is what we want to build to the masses going forward. We are in 2023 right now. Software selling shouldn't be as hard as it is. And Brian, you've been in the industry for longer than both Aish and I combined, so you would probably we would probably have some thoughts there. But we want to bring that amazing Airbnb experience to the enterprise world and make it so that it's extremely easy on everyone, buyers and sellers, to purchase software. So that's what I found missing.
It is, and it's amazing that you mention it because that notion has been out there for so long of how do we make B2B, the purchase of B2B software more like on the consumer side, and yet it is still so painful, so rigorous, so many hoops to jump through. And Trinal, you mentioned we're in 2023. What does Clazar look like in 2028, 5 years from now? Where do you see it going?
Yeah, Ayush and I, and of course, Brian, we all talk about it a lot internally. What I look at Clazar as the default platform for all kind of selling activities for pretty much anyone out there who's trying to sell their software SaaS product out there, whether it be SMB, mid market, enterprises, whether you have a sales led motion or a PLG motion or a marketing led motion, whether you have a usage based pricing or you have a flat subscription pricing. Like all of that is what people should think whenever they think about any of those dimensions. They think of Lazar. There are companies out there who have done it in a different industry. For example, Rippling has done it in the HR tech industry, where at any point in time you can see whichever product you want when you start a company. Rippling has a product for that. So that is kind of what we aspire to be, and it's a multi-year, perhaps even multi-decade vision, and that is something that we have acquired from Brian Chesky, who's the CEO of Airbnb. Both Aish and I spent a lot of time at Airbnb, and this was built into the culture, the long-term thinking, the fact that you need to make companies that are generational, that are able to outlast you, is what we aspire to be, and having a big vision that takes us multiple decades to build is definitely something that we are focused on at Plaza.
And Ayush, we refer to you in sales as our secret weapon because when we bring Ayush on with customers and future customers, just a lot of magic happens. But when you talk to those customers and you explain to them why Clazar is the best choice for them, and just from a technical standpoint, what are the things that you share, and what are the things you hear back from the customers? Because you also listen really closely to the response from our customers. What are the things that you're hearing that really separate Clazar from the other companies that are out there?
Yeah, definitely. So one of our internal core values is our customer growth is our North Star. That's what we care about. So whenever we talk to customers, what they are looking to do is increase their revenue and open up this new GTM channel for them. That's cloud marketplaces. And what they're trying to figure out, hey, in that journey, who can be my co-pilot? that will help me get there the fastest and in the most effective way. And that's what I think, what we have seen, the kind of like um, things we tell them, the kind of customer service we do is all based on that. Hey, we want to help our customer really nail down their cloud GTM motion and increase their revenue, do faster sales cycle, reduce time, and that's why we go like a step ahead to make sure their sales team is enabled to be able to run that motion effectively. So when generally people come to us, they have few sort of different questions. They have questions like, "Hey, should I be doing this myself? Okay, how long will I take me? Is just marketplace listing the first thing to be done? What should I do after that? What is in co-sell? Like, is my company suited for co-sell with cloud providers or not?" And we answer like a lot of these questions in a way that sets people up to really be successful. We have had customers that like within few months had transacted like millions of dollars of revenue, and we just love seeing those, right? And getting a lot of our customer be there.
And Trunal, I'll ask you a similar but slightly different question, which is just as you initially looked at the marketplace and you look at it now, there's certainly other companies in the segment that Clazar serves, but what did you see that was lacking, and what do you think is unique about Clazar in that sense?
Yeah, so Clazar is really unique in a few angles. One is we are a product-led company built by the experts who understand products, understands infrastructure. This space is very suited for companies that are like in the infrastructure space, like AI, ML, DevOps, all these type of companies. So when they come to us, they feel like they are talking to someone who understands their pain, and that is one of our secret sauce. We also have amazing customer service. We treat every single customer as our first, and we want to make sure that we are providing excellent customer service to every single one of them. And that is the thing that comes back from our customers as well.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to tell a little bit of the backstory behind Clazar. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Brian.